Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Box Seats. Your host Frank Holder, now here with filmmaker Jason. Hey Jay, how you doing, sir?
Hey, it's all good, man. Any day we get to sit and talk sports is a great day.
All right, I greatly appreciate that. My man Kev Lane decided to join us in the show too, and of course, my Instagram went down as soon as I decided to go up. So I'm going to be doing this while we, plugging this in while we talk. You guys can let's see. You know how this is, man. Just you're a filmmaker. I'm sure you understand this stuff happens all the time. This stuff happens all the time.
Gremlins always come out, bro.
I like that. Gremlins. I like that. Gremlins. So, all right. So, okay, let me see. It's done. Yeah. Yeah. We live on Instagram also. Now get ready to jump in to do the show. Let's get ready to get this show started. If you guys are sitting at home and you're watching, the show's called Box Seats. This is the show where we talk about sports with comedians. So a couple of comedians supposed to join us today. We're going to wait to see who jumps in. Meanwhile, we are going to start the conversation. Let's get ready to get this thing started with the topic that I thought was very interesting. And I know, Jay, matter of fact, let me ask you this, Jay, because you're down south. I'm sure this popped up quite a lot with you down south. It was with the track star. Her name is, let's see, Aaliyah Everett, the senior in high school at IC Norcom High School when she was running track. And if you haven't seen the video, I tried to upload the video. I had a difficult time today. But if you haven't seen the video, this track star's running around the corner and she has the baton in her hand and she hits the girl who's in front of her with the baton. And the crazy thing about this is, bro, she actually went on and not necessarily really apologized, but she went on several sites and things like that saying that you need to look at it from a different perspective because she really didn't mean to do it when it clearly looked like she meant to do it to me. I don't know, Jay. I'm gonna let you go first, Jay. Did it look like she meant to do it to you? Because it looked like she meant to do it to me.
I mean, what was she saying about she didn't mean to do it? She mean to hit her someplace else, because the wind up was apparent. When the young lady comes up on side of her and you see her, she looks at her and then she does this.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like she was running and and it came up and hit her in the face, on the upward motion. Right. It was a cock back and she bust the girl inside the head. And this is, nah, though. Intentional, flagrant foul, tech, get her out the game.
You know, the sad part about this is, Jay, I thought this when I first saw the video, the very, very first time I saw the video, I literally thought it was two women who were in college. You know what I mean? I did not think it was in high school. But when I first saw it, I was like, you know what, sis, your track career is over because that's not something you should do. Now I feel worse for her now because she's in high school, knowing that how when you're in high school, you're trying to find yourself. Now this chick is literally known on a national level for something you don't want to be known for. You know what I mean? So right. I don't know. What's your take on this? Let me ask Kev what his take on. Kev, what's your take on this, bro?
It's outrageous. Egregious.
You got to give me more than one word, Kev. We're doing a sports show. You got to give me more than one word.
Can you let me talk? Let me finish, dude. It's outrageous. It's egregious. I saw it. I tried to pull up the clip too. But her career is over. She's forever going to be known for doing that. And she's only in high school. I mean, that's crazy. She just ruined her career for the rest of her life. She's going to have to do something else.
Yeah, I don't even know how you repair it. I literally don't even know how you repair it. And of course, now my phone is acting up. So, yeah.
You can't repair it.
But Kev, listen.
Yes, sir.
The way that young lady hawked her on the track, she had no career past high school anyway, bro.
True that.
not in track and field.
That's true.
She got hawked. I mean, like prime Usain Bolt. So that was her only thing. You know what? Maybe she got a future, man. Putting them paws on somebody. But track and field ain't it.
Track and field. Well, the thing is, in track and field, because I ran track too in high school, they'd have you doing or participating in different events. Like your specialty might be the 50-yard dash or something like that. but you're still gonna run hurdles. You're still gonna do like maybe a distance the 200. You're gonna do other things. So the fact that maybe she's doing something else in the track area, I just say that now she's done overall. Track is out the question. She's gonna have to play softball or something where she's like one of those sports where she could put on a mask type of thing and play it. But it's still gonna come up later on in life when they say, yo, once upon a time, Malia or whatever her name is, she clocked something, but she's gone past that now. She's doing better. It's forever gonna track her down, follow her.
Yeah, I think it will too. Honestly, I think it's going to be a tough assignment for her to do a lot of different things, you know. But I wanted to mention it because ultimately, her apology statement, Jay, that she came out with, and she sat there with her parents. Now she's done a couple of interviews. I guess my last question I'm gonna ask each one of you guys: should she get another chance? Because she was a high school student. Because if you're a college student, I don't think I'd give her another chance. I think in college you know better. You know what I mean? Even as a college freshman, I think you know better. But right now it says that she's a senior in high school. You know, I think you're still maturing, Jason. I think you're still trying to figure yourself out. I don't think you have a lot of answers yet. You know what I mean? So I guess my question to you, Jason, is would you give her another chance? And do you think she deserves another chance in this field?
I mean, people always deserve another chance. You know, I mean, I'm not into throwing kids away business, you know,
Right.
especially kids, you know,
Right.
because I mean, you just don't know what's going on with them in a
Right.
lot of ways, you know. But
Right.
the only issue for me was one, how slow coming the apology was.
Right.
And then it felt like a half-hearted thing when it did come. But
Right.
you know, but if she's genuinely sorry, you know, for what she did, then listen, man, you know, let her go back out there. But again, I mean, when she graduates, her career in track and field is over anyway, man. She got to go to the gym, boxing gym.
Yeah, see, that's one good way of looking at it. Kev, being that she's a high school senior, being that being the high school senior she is, dealing with hormones, especially a female. Not to say that females deal with more than women, men and everything else, but you know, women are dealing with a lot in that age group. Men are too. I don't know if it's the same because obviously I've never been a woman, but I can say that I think dealing with that, dealing with, you know, possibly somebody cutting her while she's on the track, lose, you know what I mean? I think all that, you know, put all that together, I think she deserves another chance. That's my take. Do you think she deserves another chance, Kev?
If it were me, I would give her another chance, but I still think that the stigma of what she did is going to follow her, and that's going to be tough getting around. You know, in this day and age of what we're on right now, the internet and everything, man, they're going to be able to pull up all kinds of things from your past if you move ahead, and it just doesn't seem like you were remorseful in what you did. It's gonna stick her in the butt.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's gonna follow her too. Yeah, I think so too. I don't think I'm along the lines with Jason that she might have to figure out. But if she decides she wants to go back with track, like Jay had the quote of the show so far, not in the throwing away kids business. Like I'm not in that either. I'm not in that business. We throw away kids. I can't do that. I'd rather give them another chance, even if it's track. That's the way I look at it. All right, Jay. Next thing up, man. I want to start talking about. Obviously, we have some questions of the day for the show that I want to jump into. Before we get to that, I just want to throw this out there that there's a lot going on in the NFL. You know, with a lot of obviously the draft and stuff like that. I want to come back to that and figure some stuff out, and just try to figure out what the track stuff is. I mean, what's going on with the NFL draft. I want to figure all that out. I want to be able to say, okay, this is that, and you know, just for example, the Geno Smith thing. I want to be able to talk about that in just a second. I'm gonna come to that in a second. But because I asked these questions of the show, I'm really, really anxious to hear what you guys have said. So do you want me to go first? Because the first question of the show is name your 5 most overrated franchises in any sport all time. Now, you want me to go first, Jay? You
take off.
All right, I'm gonna go first. And I'm gonna go first because honestly, it's such a great question. I think I and I don't want some of y'all to take my franchise, my picks.
I'm not going to change mine.
Yeah, I know. And then I know too that Jason's gonna have some that's gonna probably make me get upset because Jay, you know, he's the type of dude, Kev, that he's you gonna be upset, but I'm not gonna say nothing just yet because you know he sees the Celtics hats and the Boston, you know, Patriots hat, you know, he sees that, and I understand, I get it. But anyway, here's my list of the 5 most overrated franchises in any sport all time. Number 5, which is going to shock you guys at home, knowing that I'm a Boston fan. Number 5 for me is the Boston Bruins. I got to go with the Boston Bruins. The Bruins haven't won a Stanley Cup since 2011. They are picked to go to, especially the fan base. The fan base picks them to go to the Stanley Cup Finals, or at least the Stanley Cup playoffs every single year. This year they're having a really bad year. 2 years ago, they were expected to win the whole thing. Everybody expected them because their record that came out the gate, and they lost, you know, first round since they got in. Last year they got in, they lost again, you know. But every single year, especially being in Boston, every single year you hear the Boston Bruins are going to do this. The Boston, and you know, and I can give you a whole bunch of stats on the Boston Bruins. I'm not that deep into hockey enough, but I am enough in it to hear what, you know, what the franchises do and you know who does what. So number 5 for me is the Boston Bruins. Number 4 for me is the Raiders. And I'm gonna say the Raiders. It could be the Las Vegas Raiders, it could be the Oakland Raiders, it could be any Raiders you want to name. The Raiders, they haven't been good in 20 plus years. Before that, they were never good. It's just the Raiders was, in that little bit of time that they did win, it was so brief that because the big major market they're in, it carries them all the time. And they get this. A lot of people get disappointed. And obviously, if they were so famous and so good, they wouldn't have moved several times, right? You're right. You know what I mean? Like they wouldn't have moved from LA to Oakland, Oakland to LA to Las Vegas. They wouldn't have been moving. So I think they're highly overrated too. Number 3 for me is the New York Knicks. The Knicks haven't won nothing since the 70s. The Knicks fans drive me crazy because every single year, the Knicks fans got you thinking that they're gonna win the NBA championship this year, and it's like that every year, especially when they just made that trade this past season with Karl-Anthony Towns. I was talking to a couple of comics, actually about 5 or 6 comics, and 6 or 7 comics was telling me that, yeah, we're gonna do this, and the Knicks gonna do. Drive me nuts. The Knicks. My man Stack is in the building. Stack, what's up, man? How you doing, sir?
What's going on?
All right, so Stack, in the middle of the list. I'm in the middle of my list. Okay, since you just joined the show, my list of the 5 most overrated franchise in any sport all time. Number 5 for me is the Boston Bruins. Number 4, the Las Vegas Raiders. Number 3 is the New York Knicks. Now my number 2 is the New York Yankees, and I'm gonna say the New York Yankees only because of the last couple of years. The way they stacked up. Now I'm not saying that they're the worst, but the way they've been stacking up over the decades, they should have won more major league championships than they should have won more. I think they should have won more, especially the last couple of years. The way they put together their roster the last couple of years, you would have thought they were going to win the World Series. I know I did. I had the New York Yankees picked to win the World Series the last 3 or 4 times and then the Dodgers come out of nowhere. They win a couple of times, and just a couple of teams you don't expect to see. And they finally, with the roster they got, they finally were able to reach the World Series this year. And guess what? They still lost. So for me, it's the New York Yankees. Yes, I know they won a lot, but also I think they overhyped, overrated. And number 1 is got to be, for me, without a shadow of a doubt, it's got to be the Dallas Cowboys. I don't care what nobody says. You can't take that for nothing for me. The Dallas Cowboys are the most overrated, and I know people are going to hate me and send DM me and all this other stuff, but the Dallas Cowboys for me are by far the most overrated National Football League team, because when they went to their rate and they won a couple times, I'll give it to them. They won, but they haven't won in a very long time. I think it's the early 90s last time they won, and they are still in the talk and everything, and they just get all the hype every single year. They get so much hype every year. I'm sick of it, but you know, major market team, and that's what happens. So that's my 5 of the most overrated franchise in any sport. Jay, you got up next, bro. So I'm dying to hear your 5.
I mean, I'm still processing. I mean, I know why it happened. Frank sat here and said that a team that has won 27 World Series,
Yep, I sure did.
27 of them things. There is no other professional franchise in any sport in the ballpark of that. He says they're overrated all the time. You know what, Frank? Okay. I'm moving on. I know where you're from. I know where it stems from. Okay, I get it. Because about 19 of those came at the expense of the Red Sox, so I get it. Okay.
Yep, it's probably yeah. Probably.
So I'm gonna start my 5 here.
Okay, go ahead.
There's some overlap here. Number 5 for me, New York Knicks.
Okay.
I live here in the city. Dude, every year is their year. You know, the Garden is sold out. It's a beautiful venue to watch a basketball game. It is incredible. But dude, they haven't won a championship since 1973.
Mm-hmm.
That's 50 years, man. And most of those years, it wasn't like they were competitive and just not making it. Like they were terrible for a lot of those years in between. So, number 5 spot, New York Knicks. Number 4 for me, easy, Dallas Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they them boys until October.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
They haven't bust a great since 1994. Now I don't know. I mean, to us, 94 seems like that long ago, but bro, that's 30. It's 30 something years ago at this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, Buffalo Bills.
Oh, I should have added it to my list.
One squat in the history of the franchise, and they got a traveling mafia. Why? What have they done? What have they done to deserve a mafia that travels all around the world to watch them play? Right? Ain't done nothing. Home field advantage, and they still lose at home. Nothing.
And they went to 4 Super Bowls in a row and still lost. Don't forget that part.
Lost all of them. They over in everything. Right?
Yep.
Number 2 was not a sports franchise per se, but is a college football program.
Okay.
Notre Dame Fighting Irish. No team capitalizes more on their leather helmet days than the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. They have not won a national championship in the modern era. 1988 is the last time they won anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And when they
were
muscled in,
yep, they were close this past year though, right? They were close. And
got Skull Drug. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Every time they made it to the national championship, think about it. This time, Skull Drug. They played Alabama the last time they got there, right?
Yeah.
Double Skull Drug with CTE. You know what I'm saying? Alabama killed them boys, right? But they got their own television contract with NBC. With just Notre Dame, where they make millions of dollars a year. Number 1 spot, Chicago Bulls. They have had 28, 29 losing seasons in their 57, 58 year history. If you remove the Michael Jordan run from the late 80s into the mid to late 90s, they are egregious. And people walk around wearing Bull stuff, talking Chicago Bulls, whatever. They are trash juice, bro. Overall. Overrated.
If I had to grade in your thing, bro, I think you get an A. I think your thing is better than mine. I forgot all about the Buffalo Bills. I looked right past the Buffalo Bills. Jason gets an A on that one, bro. That's a good list. That's a really good list, Jay. That's a really good list.
My boy said the Yankees.
He said the Yankees, Dad. You're from Boston. You know better than that.
I know, but
I couldn't even go there.
But what was sticking out in my mind when I picked the Yankees is the last couple of years, the last 5 to 7 years. That's what's sticking out in my mind. That's the thing that's hard for me to deal with. I'm dealing with that.
But you say it all the time, though.
You said it all the time.
That's all of them.
I know.
That's a tough one. I don't know.
I'm sticking to my guns. Sticking to my guns.
Okay.
Give me your 5. Give me your 5.
Woo! Well, there
Give me
is
your
going to be a little bit of overlap on a couple of them, but I think
Okay.
you guys you forgot about a couple. My top in the top 5 spot, Washington Nationals. They thought they were doing something when they got Bryce Harper. They thought they were doing something when they got Geraldus Chapman.
Okay.
Nothing. Washington Nationals, number 5. Number 4, I'm going to go back to New York, not the Yankees, but the Mets.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
The Mets just can't get right. They just can't get right. Staying in the New York area for number 3 is the Knicks. That's a little bit of overlap. Yeah, they just can't.
Yep.
Another team. They just can't do it. I don't know if it's the management. I don't know if it's the owner, but they just can't get right. And the number 2 spot, Dallas Cowboys. They America's team. America don't like them. I don't know what that's all about, but whatever. Anyway, number 1 spot. I can't believe that none of y'all said this already. And any of your other spots.
Okay.
LA Clippers.
I didn't even think of the Clippers.
But they had no expectations, though.
They're not overrated. Yeah, I don't say they're overrated. They're not rated.
They're
not rated.
They're always expected. Even when they got the new owner, Mr. Ballmer, they were expected to put together a wagon and expected to do something.
Well,
They
that's
just
true.
can't get over the hump.
Okay,
They
so
can't get over the hump.
because he added the Clippers to that, I got to give Kevin A-. I got to give overall his list is phenomenal too. You sit at home, you can't be mad at his list. The only thing is some people might be suspect on the Clippers, but I agree with that list though, Kev. You came through with that list. I agree with that list. I think that list is a good list. I think that list, but some people my list so far I'm the worst one. I got a B. I think I got a B. So
this is all time now.
Yeah,
So,
I know. That's why I said. Okay, so here we go with you, Marquise. Let me see what your list stack. Let me see what your list. Name 5 of the most overrated franchise in any sport all time.
All right, there's definitely gonna be overlap on mine. Like y'all named all my teams. Mine is in no particular order, but I got 5 and 1 in order. So this first one is Notre Dame. I feel like the movie Rudy, the whole Manti Te'o thing, like they are severely overrated. Every time they're kind of good, the media rushes to just really push them, to the forefront. I think Penn State gets a lot of that same treatment as well, but I'll say Notre Dame takes the cake with that. My number 4 team is the Philadelphia 76ers. All the talk about the process, no matter what type of decent team they put together, the media, and we're talking about being overrated. So I'm talking about teams that get more attention than they deserve. I think the Philadelphia 76ers have been trash. I haven't seen a Sixers championship in my lifetime. I don't even know if they've gone to the finals in my lifetime, but they talk about them.
They went to the finals. Last time they went to the finals, 2001 with Allen Iverson against the Lakers. That's the last time.
Bingo. That's right. Yep.
Right.
See, and that was a blip in their history, right? I mean, before that, like I said, it's just
before that they haven't been in since the 80s with Moses Malone.
Exactly.
When they went,
Dr. J. And the thing is, what's funny is with the process, they talked about them like they was next up, and they weren't. And
they were supposed to be stacked. They were supposed to be. They were supposed to be
next up.
Okay.
Next is the Knicks.
What number is that? Is that 3?
I understand that it's a big market, and that might be the reason why they get all the attention that they get. But even Knicks fans are extremely delusional. I hate the hashtag Knicks tape. Like, come on. Like, y'all ain't won nothing since the 70s. Your team is when nobody's expecting you to be good, which is hard because like everybody's always expecting you to be good, but when the actual other teams you're playing don't expect you to be good, they have a good year. But even when they have a good year in the playoffs, they just fizzle out like super easy. So the Knicks are overrated, and I feel like I'm repeating myself, so I'm not gonna, or repeating y'all, so I'm not gonna go too deep. My number 2 team, which is gonna surprise a lot of people, is the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Lakers because not so much for when they won, because they did win one in 2020, right? And then they have had more recent championships than the Celtics. But we're talking about being overrated.
No, they have not. The Celtics won last year. They do not have more recent championships than the Celtics.
We won in 2008 and last year. They won in 2020. They won in 2010. They won in then they won 2011 and 2010, and then they won 3 in a row in the early 2000s. So since the year 2000, they've won 5, maybe 6 championships.
2020.
Yeah, exactly. So 6 championships, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, Kobe only had 4.
Kobe had 5. Kobe got 5.
Okay, 5 with Kobe, 1 with LeBron. So they had 6 rings in the last 20 years. But when they put a trash product on the court, they still get talked about like they are the truth. Like even this season, up until recently, now they're kind of, decent. But you see how the media just can't wait. And I'm like, we talk about the Lakers no matter what, on season, off season, whether they're good or bad. To me, that's overrated. And number 1, everybody already knows, is the Dallas Cowboys.
Yep.
America's team, my behind. Okay, they haven't won nothing in over 30 years. They haven't been relevant. Have they even made it to the NFC Championship game since the 90s? Probably not.
Who?
But every year, and they're the most highest value team in the NFL, or just in all of American sports.
All of sports.
Yeah, that's the definition of overrated. So there you go. I'm not gonna drag y'all.
Actually, when I created this list, I created a list with the Dallas Cowboys in mind. To be honest with you, the Dallas Cowboys was in mind when I literally was like, okay, let me figure out who else is most overrated like them, because they're overrated. They're the most overvalued, overrated team. In the history of sports. In the history of sports, if you ask me. All right, so
but Frank, real quick.
Go ahead.
It's clear to me that you and Stat got the same weed, man. You chose the Yankees and Stat chose the Lakers. I don't even know what to do with that, bro. I think both of y'all smoking that Sherm.
So when the Lakers are bad, right? Do you agree with the coverage that they be getting?
Yeah,
but they're not overrated all the time, though.
I guess
they got 17. They got 17 of them things, man.
I guess it depends on who you ask. You know what I mean? How many years the NBA been around? Almost 60, right?
Oh, no, longer than that.
See, so 17
they gotta be like pushing 80 years now.
Yeah, so 17 is a little less than a quarter. So it's okay. You can have 17. The Celtics got 18.
Right.
Wow. Yeah, but those are all in Boston. The Lakers was winning championships in Minneapolis and stuff. Like, we don't count those.
They all count.
Come on. As long as they all count those, I don't hear nobody not counting ours when it's time to count, because now everybody picks and chooses what they want to count, what they don't want to count. We ain't gonna go there. All right, so I'm gonna be first.
The Lakers could cut everybody, have a team full of college players, and they're gonna talk about their playoff contention stats every year, no matter how bad their team is. That, to me, that's overrated.
All right, so y'all ready for the next list? Y'all ready?
Let's go.
All right, next list. I'm gonna go first, and I want to see what y'all
got
say.
That smoke.
Yeah, you probably do, because I ain't gonna lie. I needed to put more into this. Okay, all right. Let me see. Get this thing up. Okay, the most overrated athlete.
Here's where it gets dicey.
Yeah,
here's where it's gonna get dicey.
Most overrated athletes all time. I'm gonna start first, and I picked any sport. I had to go number 5 for me is Roger Federer. He was ranked number 1 in the world for a lot of years. And let's see, he's number 1 in the Men's Singles Association for 310 weeks, including a record 237 consecutive weeks, but over 25-year period and everything else. How many Grand Slams did he win? A handful. handful. See, he's number 5 for me. I got sick and tired of hearing about Roger Federer. I really did. I almost threw up John McEnroe up in there, but John McEnroe got a whole lot of Grand Slams, so I didn't want to, I was like, let me see if I get somebody from tennis. That's number 5 for me. Number 4 for me is Dak Prescott. To me, he is the most overrated QB all time, and I'm going there all time because he's on America's favorite team all time. And this man has got a huge contract, a huge salary, and everything else. And how many playoff games has he won? Anybody out there? Anybody know? Anybody? See how quiet it is? Exactly. So for all those people out there who want to give me heck for Dak Prescott, first see me with a playoff win, then we can sit there and talk. Number 3 for me, this man has played baseball, shattered records and everything else, but Barry Bonds ain't won nothing. Like nothing. Like, as a matter of fact, Barry Bonds is overrated in the sense of he has been one of the best to play the game, but because of the steroids era and everything else, I think he really ruined his career with that steroids thing. You know what I mean? Now, if he hadn't taken it, I would take him completely off the list. Because I think he was winning without that now. But because he's in the steroid era with so much steroids and everything else, I'm like, man, all that hype that he was getting at the time when he was hitting everything, I was like, dude, it's full of steroids. So to me, he's on the list for overrated. And number 2 is a tie. I got a tie. My tie is Clyde Drexler and Karl Malone. Those are my 2. That's my tie. And I'm going to say that because they both were getting a lot of hype in the era of them playing ball, but they were getting a lot of hype, like so much hype, and they couldn't bring home nothing. Like they weren't winning nothing. And I almost threw Charles Barkley up there too, but yeah, I didn't think it would be fair to have 3 people up there on the list. I didn't really even want to have 2. And number 1 for me, the most overrated athlete all time, and I get sick of hearing his name every time I hear it, and it's not personal. I just get sick of hearing his name, is Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers won 1 Super Bowl, but Aaron, you would have thought Aaron Rodgers was about to win. He got like 8 or 9 Super Bowls under his belt. You would have thought he clearly had about a good grip of Super Bowls. He won 1. He went to 3 or 4 NFC Championship games, but he won 1 Super Bowl. And matter of fact, you're still hearing about him now, and he should retire. But that's my list. So I know Jason's gonna get ready to make us all get feathers all ruffled. So give me your 5. 5-1, Jay.
Let's go with it. Clear up.
Okay.
Number 5 for me, I heard about him way too much to only have 4 championships. That is Rory McIlroy of the LPGA. Of the PGA.
Good one.
And he ain't won anything since 2014. So tired of hearing about him. Number 4, Mr. Sierra Russell Wilson.
I like the dig. The dig is, go ahead. Keep going.
Listen, he got a whole lot of shine. And if you look at it, when they were really winning, it was really the defense that was winning those games and running the ball with Marshawn Lynch. But he got put in this place where I don't think he necessarily deserved all that he was getting.
Okay.
Number 3, I gotta go at Boston at least once, right? Matty room temperature, not Matty Ice, Matty room temperature Ryan. He ain't done. Listen, a dude like that does not deserve a nickname. And Boston people love him because Brady got a championship out of it because he couldn't do anything in the second half. Pack him up.
Boston people like him because he played at BC.
I know.
But
he is garbage can juice, bro. Overall.
Yeah, wow. That's a real diss. Okay, keep going.
Number 2, because I want to be EOE out here, equal opportunity.
Yeah.
Rebecca Lobo.
I didn't even think of women. That's a good one. Rebecca Lobo's, that's a good one. Yeah.
She won 1 championship at UConn. She was all world in college, but she only won 1 championship at UConn.
Yep. Yeah.
So the WNBA started about 2 years after she graduated college. So she was one of the first players signed to the WNBA. She played 6 seasons. She made all WNBA once, and it was second team. She has a career WNBA scoring average of 6.7 points.
Wow, I didn't
Made
know
the
that.
playoffs twice. And
Wow.
she's in the Naismith Hall of Fame for playing basketball.
Well, she is. I can't even dispute. Okay, keep going. I'm sorry. Keep going.
Those are the stats. That's the resume.
Yeah, I'm not disputing your stats. Go ahead.
Number one spot for me, and it's going to set a lot of people. Kobe Bean Bryant.
Number one. Wait a minute.
Number one most overrated I've ever seen. Ever.
Well, bro, you are smoking ganja too. Just want
No,
you
I'm
to
not.
know. If we smoke,
And I'm going to tell you why.
if we
They say Kobe got 5 championships. 3 of those 5 championships, Shaq was named Finals MVP.
Mm-hmm.
And he won an NBA League MVP. Kobe didn't get any during that stretch, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, also, he was known as this defensive stopper, but every time D Wade came to town, he got his stats plus some. T-Mac got his stats plus some. Vince Carter got his stats plus some. Bron got his stats plus some. He stopped nobody. Now, the biggest detriment for him, for me, is, aside from aping everything, that Michael Jordan ever did, the Mamba mentality to me was always ridiculous. Because it said, I'm going to shoot every time. I'm not going to pass to my teammates. And because of that, no big-time free agent will ever sign to come play with me as a teammate. Name the big-time free agent that ever signed with the Lakers to go play with Kobe Bryant.
Well, I will give you this. I will say this. Kobe Bryant shot all the time because he was with a boatload of scrubs for a lot
They're
of
all
years.
pros. They're all pros.
See,
Listen,
bro, you
But
would have
Frank-
to get my license. If we were on ESPN, they would have blacked us out just now. They'd have been like,
But
no,
Frank-
off the TV.
but Frank, by comparison,
Uh-huh.
me and Kev talked about this the other day. LeBron James gets criticized for
Mhm.
going to the finals, 5 more times than Michael Jordan because he didn't win.
Mhm.
But every time he took the team to the finals and he left that team,
Uh-huh.
that team was picking in the lottery in the top 3 the next season. That means LeBron James elevated the play of his teammates beyond what they could do anyplace else. That is greatness. Kobe never did that. Kobe won when he had the best team. When he didn't have the best team, he was out in the first round if he made the playoffs at all. That's
Okay.
the resume.
Okay, well, before I move on, because Kev's next, before I move on, I'll just say this. They didn't name Kobe Bean Bryant the Mamba for nothing, because he was the Mamba. You know what I mean?
They ain't hard to shoot all the time, bro.
All right. See, this is why I love these kind of shows, bro. I love this. Because some brothers be smoking crack, and they you know what I mean? I like them. I like this. And you can agree or disagree. And I disagree with his list. And he so far, Jason is 90% there. He's 90% there. Kev, give me your most overrated athletes all time. Give me your most overrated athletes. Start at number 5. Who's your most? Wait a minute. You know what I should have said to Kevin Lane, audience at home? I should have said, Kevin Lane, give me your 4 most overrated athletes all time plus LeBron James. Because I know LeBron's on that list. But go ahead, Kev.
Everybody knows my thunder.
Because everybody knows you hate LeBron.
Not everybody. Not everybody.
Go ahead.
You do,
number 5.
but not everybody.
Go ahead. Number
But
5.
people ain't gonna like my list. I already know that.
Okay, go ahead. What's your list?
Number 5 spot, basketball, NBA. I have LaMelo Ball.
Oh, that's a good one.
Too much. Too much hype for that dude. And I'm not saying that he can't play the game, but he don't play the game well. He doesn't get his team involved. He ain't winning anything. I think it's self-explanatory. LaMelo Ball, number 5.
Okay.
Number 4, I'm gonna switch over to baseball, and I have to say Pete Rose.
What?
Rose,
You got Pete Rose overrated all time? Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go
Charlie,
ahead.
Mr. Hustle. Mr. Hustle, what did he do though?
Charlie Hustle.
Besides him getting the before him, besides him getting the tag or the moniker of Mr. Hustle, what did he win? What did he do?
He won with 3.
And not to mention that he got tainted with the baseball betting scandal type of thing, but he ekes up on there onto my list.
I don't know who's worse, you or Jason, right now, because they would have pulled our plug if we was on ESPN. Go
Okay.
ahead.
I'm
Go ahead.
allowed to make my list.
You are. Go ahead. Keep going with your list. I'm loving it.
At
Keep
the
going.
number 3 spot. The number 3 spot. Brett Favre. Brett Favre. He won 1, I think.
He won
But he
one.
was a bum all the other times. He was a bum every other freaking year except for that one time that he won. Overrated.
Okay.
Number 2 spot. Ooh, people gonna be mad. They're gonna be upset. I don't care. Number 2 spot is Mr. Mike Tyson.
Oh,
He
you
beat up a
tripping.
lot of people.
You're tripping.
He knocked a lot of people out. But who did he knock out? He knocked out a bunch of bums.
Everybody.
Kev, he knocked out everybody.
Everybody.
He knocked out everybody. They were all bums. But they were
Yeah.
all bums.
Michael
They were
Spinks
all
not a bum.
bums. That's number 2.
Yeah, I definitely don't agree with this list. Keep going. Mike Tyson,
Well, you know,
overrated.
I didn't make my list for you.
Oh, I know. That's why
And the
I'm
number
glad
1
we-
spot, and in the number 1 spot, Mr. Bronny James. LeBron James. Overrated
Surprise.
in my eyes forever. And I don't care who don't like it, but he's this and he's the king. He's not my king. Nope. Sorry.
The dude that got more points than anybody in the history of the NBA.
Yeah.
And how many
That doesn't
finals?
matter to me. So wait a
50,000
minute.
points.
So does that mean that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was the GOAT before LeBron
Yes.
broke that record?
Yes, he was my GOAT.
He wasn't.
So we're not gonna get to LeBron James.
They didn't
We're not
have-
gonna go
didn't
there.
have-
Yeah, man.
We're not gonna go there. We're not gonna because I want Marquise to have a chance to get his list. Stack, give me Stack. Kev, your list. Mike Tyson, really overrated. Okay. Oh, whew. And Charlie
Who did he
Hustle.
beat?
Fire your
Who did
weed
he
man,
beat?
Kev.
Yeah. Woo. Wow. Wow. Kev's weed man must be a millionaire.
Yeah, weed man. I don't know. He's selling shrooms, man.
All right, let me see what Marquise's list look like. Okay, Stack, it's your turn. Stack, give me your list. Start with number 5, most overrated athlete of all time. Okay.
Number 5, Dak Prescott. We
I
shouldn't
can
even
agree with
talk. They shouldn't even talk about this man at all. Earned nothing. He's just another Kirk Cousins to me. I'm gonna just leave it there. Number 4, Jack Nicklaus, the golfer. Now
Just smoking.
he holds the record. Hear me out. He holds the record for all the. He's got the most majors, right?
Yes.
And he's second.
Yes.
Tiger is second to him in majors.
He's considered the best all time.
Okay.
Golf
Ever.
player all time. Ever.
Okay,
All time.
so to golfers, Tiger Woods is by far the best golfer of all time, just from driving, chipping, and putting. His
And
scores
people-
that he's put up, the way he dominated other golfers, the way he changed the game. Tiger Woods changed golf completely to a point where the numbers, the performance that Jack Nicklaus was putting up, if he had been playing in the same era as Tiger, he'd be nobody. Even Tiger's contemporaries right now, including Rory McIlroy, who's also overrated. These guys drive the ball further than Jack Nicklaus. They play on bigger, longer courses. So they have to drive, they have to whoa. I don't want to hear it. Don't cut me off.
I'm sorry.
They have to hit the ball way further. Way further. The game, sports evolve. And I understand that Jack dominated in his time, but today, him playing that same golf today, he's not top 10. He's
Not top 10.
No.
All right, keep going with your list.
But also, I understand that you guys probably don't watch golf.
Yes, I do.
Okay, well, if that's the case, because you're not the one barking. It's Frank over here.
I watch and play, but I'm not saying nothing. Keep going with your list.
I mean, I play golf, I watch golf. Like, to golfers, it's not even close. Tiger Woods is by far the greatest golfer of all time, and it's the number 2s and 3s and 4s are probably guys that are playing right now.
I'm not disputing that Tiger is the best, but the name of this list right now is most overrated athlete all time.
And that's what I'm saying.
And
you know why he's overrated? Because when I said his name, you said he's the best all time.
I said no. What I said was some people consider him the best all time. That's exactly
that's a reach. That's why I think he's overrated.
All right, okay, go ahead. Go. Keep going with your list. Keep going.
Number 3. Number 3, ready?
Yep.
Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic overrated. They talk about this guy. First of all, he's not better than Jokic, if you ask me, because Jokic is a two-way player. But how could you be considered one of the greats and you're not even a two-way player? T-Mac was a two-way player. Kobe was a two-way player. Shit, John Stockton and Chris Paul are two-way players. Russell Westbrook. But for some reason, Luka gets to walk up in here and be out of shape, slow, put up some big numbers, and now he's in the GOAT conversation. Overrated. That's why he got traded.
I don't disagree with that.
I'm with you.
I like
it. I see you.
I like it. I like that. I like that. Keep going. I like that.
Agree with this one.
Okay.
Giannis Antetokounmpo. Overrated. Best player in the world. This, that. Are you, excuse me? You shooting 70% from the free throw line, bro. You don't got a first step. I mean, he is a two-way player, and I think he's a star in his role. And I do think that he can get you buckets, but he's like Shaq in today's era, essentially. Like, he'll just dominate and kind of like steamroll his way to the rim, and they're gonna have to like hack you for you to score type thing. But like, he's not better than Jokic either. He's never had a season better than Jokic ever.
Keep going.
Ever.
Keep
Come on, he's a locomotive. Anyway,
keep going.
Number 1.
Here it comes. Here it comes. Here it comes. Go ahead.
Michael Jeffrey
Jordan. I knew it was coming.
Now, I'm going to start off by saying I grew up a huge Michael Jordan fan. I had Michael Jordan posters in my bedroom. I got Space Jam for like my 9th or 10th birthday. I was all caught up. I got Jordans on my feet right now. But the question is overrated athletes. And it's not any fault of Jordan's that he's overrated. It's the media's fault that he's overrated. I blame nostalgia, because you can't tell me that a 6'6", 190-pound guy that went to college for 3 years, got to get Hall of Fame coaching from high school through his career for the most part, was a one-way player for a good part of his career, is also a guy who, no matter what anybody does on the court, he still seems to be better than. No matter what. People can score more than him. People can shoot better than him. People can dribble better than him. People can defend better than him. For some reason, none of that matters. None of it. And it's the same effect. It's about, I think it's a 90s thing because of the .com boom. And I think the NBA at that time actually became a watchable product around that time that Jordan was dominating. So it was just like,
it was before that.
I'm not done. I know, I agree with that, but I'm just saying he took things to the next level. So I totally understand, but it's very similar to the Troy Aikman effect. I think Troy Aikman is very, very overrated. When you got he had an amazing team around him. You had Michael Irvin, you had Emmitt Smith, and they talk about this dude. He wasn't even better than Steve Young.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't better than Steve Young, in my opinion. So,
hey Frank, is Stat talking about baseball or basketball with Jordan?
I think he's talking about basketball.
It's okay. Like I said, once again, we're talking about being overrated. I'm not saying he wasn't a great.
You're gonna be talking about baseball, man.
I'm not saying he's not in the GOAT conversation, but the reason why I didn't say he's not. But what I'm saying is, if you're gonna tell me that there's nothing that anybody can do to eclipse him, that's overrated. But I remember in the early when Kobe won his first three-peat, I had a guy from I had a cousin come in and just start with me. I was a teenager, just minding my business, enjoying NBA, right? I'm enjoying a three-peat, and then I got a 70s born dude come in talking about, oh, he's not better than Jordan. At that point in my life, I never compared. At that point in my life, I never compared another player to Jordan. I never did. I never even thought about it. I never even contemplated who was the GOAT. I was just enjoying the game and who was great at that time. It was a Jordanite that came in and started bashing Kobe Bryant. That same person now has mad respect for Kobe, but it was just a prisoner of the moment. It's the nostalgia.
I just want to say, Stack is just throwing his trauma out on us, and it's funny.
Bro,
he really is, bro.
Overrated, guys. I'm not saying he's not great. I'm saying he's over. You can't tell me that there's nothing anybody can do.
I hear what you're saying.
You can outscore him, out-defend him, win more rings than him. It won't matter because they're gonna always be like, oh, he was just the greatest. Jordan did it with his arm tied behind his back. He dribbled with his pinky toe, and he still was a better dribbler than Allen Iverson. And you kids just wouldn't understand. And at 190, he'd come into the game nowadays and dunk all over 7-footers with 50-inch verticals. It's like, yo, everybody got a 40-inch vert now. Everybody. And all the 6'6" guys are 220, 230, and they're faster with better handles and a better jumper. Like, let's stop. You're talking about overrated. They say a 6'8", 240-pound LeBron James, who was a football star at an A1 program in high school, couldn't play in the 90s era. Come on.
Okay. I just want to say that you got a lot of
overrated.
You got a lot of your trauma. You got a lot of your trauma that you need to deal with,
it's
bro.
The question is about overrated. It's not that he was a bad player, but to say somebody cannot be eclipsed. I don't even smoke weed. I don't smoke weed. I'm done. I don't smoke no more. I don't smoke no more.
Oh my God. This is why I absolutely love
overrated.
That's why I love to do these lists. So I can't.
If Jordan put up his Jokic numbers, y'all would be all over it. But because Jokic putting these numbers up, y'all like, oh, also, he's not a brother, right? And if he's not a brother, we already writing him off the list.
First of all, I love Jokic.
Me too.
Yeah, dude's one of the best.
If Jokic does this for the next 10 years, we still wouldn't consider him the GOAT.
Listen, if Jokic does what he's doing right now for the next 5, he'll be probably considered one of the best to ever play all time.
He's already one of the best to ever play. Look what he's doing.
Not already.
No, he's not.
Look at this.
Not already, bro.
Not right now. But if he does it for the next 5 more years, he definitely be in the conversation of the best all-time player.
All right. So what about Jason? So if Jason Tatum continues on this tear that he's on for the rest of his career, is he the GOAT?
Top 5 too. GOAT? No,
not GOAT, but definitely top 5 all time.
That's my point about Jordan right there.
What?
Because Tatum's gonna go down.
But Jordan's not my GOAT, bro. I think Bron is the best player to ever do it, and Tatum ain't nowhere close to Bron.
See what people do in these conversations. This is what people do all the time, and I said it to all of you off the air, and I'm gonna say it on the air so you can see. People take the eye test and then they want to mash it with statistics. Now,
Mm.
to me, when you have these conversations, I don't have a conversation with people who's better because a different era, different style of basketball, different and different style of everything is different. You know what I mean? They
Right.
implemented the hand check thing when Jordan was playing, and they entered that changed the game. Now that we're shooting more threes, and now since we're shooting more threes, Jason Tatum's about to break all kind of records that Larry Bird held. You know what I mean? The Celtics, listen, the NBA overall is shooting at an average of 43s. Back when Larry Bird was playing, the average was 15. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
but to me, if you want to compare the best player by the eye test, that's a separate conversation versus
And that's a very subjective. Yeah, it's
right.
subjective.
But it is subjective, but it's the best player to you. But then when you start adding statistics, then that doesn't make sense either, because if you go statistics, who has the most this and who has the most that? It won't be with the argument you're trying to make.
If
People
it's
try
just
to
eye
force-
test, it's AI.
People try to force conversations to what they want to do, to whatever they got to do. So that's why I don't even like having these me and Kev talk about this all the time, because Kev was the first one. He hates LeBron for certain reasons. I'm not the biggest LeBron James fan
That's
either.
not true. Don't put words in my mouth. I never said I hate LeBron.
Yes, you
I
did.
didn't say that. Never said that. No, I didn't.
Your tape said I hate
Never
LeBron, bro.
Woo,
You
no,
need
the man is
you need
still
to
playing.
a tattoo across your chest.
man
I
is
hate
playing.
LeBron.
In his 22nd season, averaging the same thing he averaged in an MVP year 20 years ago.
Yeah, that's-
And you're saying that he's overrated. He's still doing what he started doing 22 years ago.
50,000 points.
No, he's not.
Nobody's ever
No, he's
done
not.
that.
yes, he is.
No, he's
Look
not.
at his
Yes,
look at
Yes,
up
he
his
is. Yes,
look
he
up
is,
his
dude.
rookie season
It's an
numbers.
all-time great season for him.
Yes, he is. Look at statistics.
No, he
This is
is
what
not.
me and Kev argue about all
whatever.
the time. Kev, you can say whatever
Yeah,
all you want. The NBA statistics are
thank
going to
you.
mark him down as saying he is playing at the exact same rate he did during his rookie season. And
LeBron's look, his rookie stats is 21, 5, and 6. He's having a better season now. 22 years later.
He's having a better season than his MVP
He's having a
season.
better season than his MVP year. And this is year 22. He's 40. He's
And I got
Which goes to show my point. Overrated, because he don't play defense. He played defense with his foot. You see him kick at the ball?
Oh, when he's chasing down younger guys like Andre Iguodala, chasing down guys that are also 6'9" and run like gazelles, and blocking them at the end of
When's
a
the last time
finals
he did
game.
that?
Come on, man.
When's the last time he did that? When's the last time he clapped
He's
somebody's
still
looking
chasing-
back for him?
LeBron's beating dudes down the court now.
guys,
Because he stayed on that end of the court. Not playing
He's
any
in the best
defense.
shape. He's one of the best conditioned dudes in the league now.
So then why is he
I'm going to
always
stop
out with a
dude.
sore ankle
Hey, you see this, right?
or
I'm-
something? He's always out.
I'm
He's
hate
out
that.
right now.
Look, I used to hate LeBron too. Like
He's
you. I
out right
remember.
now.
I had to have a come to
But
Jesus
he's-
moment with myself too.
Hold on. But he's out right
The
now.
hate is strong with
Why
this
is
one.
it- Why does it seem like every time he got to
The
play
hate is
Giannis,
strong, bro.
he's gonna be out for a couple of weeks?
What does he have to, Kev? I just want to know. What does he
Hey,
have to
LeBron
do?
hater you are.
What does he have to do, Kev? What does he have to do? What does he have to do,
Play
Kev?
defense.
All right.
Play defense and stop picking up all kinds of dudes to jump on the bandwagon and win with him.
Okay, so he's the
That's what
GM
he's
now.
gotta do.
All right.
All right, y'all. See, the
Yes,
whole
he
show-
is for the Lakers. Yes, he
the whole-
is.
The
Yes,
whole
he
show.
is.
We talked about this for the whole show, which is a great show
Yeah.
because now I can rotate the show. We could build off of this, which is hilarious to me. I didn't want to talk about the NFL. We didn't get a chance because you guys made some ridiculous. But I will say this. Again, yeah, I will say this without having no comedians on this show. This is one of the funniest shows I think we've ever done. All time. Wow. And also, if you sit at home, what this does to me, what this does is it lets you see that people see sports different than you do. Like you could be sitting at home, seeing one thing and you could think it's phenomenal, and other people will be like, it's all right. You know what I mean? Like that, and that's why I love sports. That's why I love watching people play sports.
Right.
I think the whole thing is phenomenal. We're looking at the time. We got to get ready to roll up out of here. Jason is the filmmaker of the group. Jay, tell everybody out there how they can follow you, bro.
Follow me at JD Hayes on the Black Man site, fan base.
I like fan base, by the way. I've been on it a lot the last couple of days. I love fan base. I like that. Stack, tell everybody out there how they can follow you, bro.
Y'all can follow me at Stackinova, right, like you see right down here. You can also follow me to the stat sheet to see that LeBron has a career defensive rating of 105, which is among some of the highest defensive ratings. And to keep that over 22 years is unprecedented. The man averages almost a block and a steal per game at 40.
Mm-mm-mm.
Since
Hating is a
18.
full-time vocation, bro. It's a full-time vocation.
My goodness.
Kev, tell Brad how they can follow you.
Okay. Follow me right here on the Humor Mill. Box seats.
That's right.
Okay. All right. So
You know how committed you gotta be to hating the dude to say what Kev said.
He's still doing it. He's not even done yet. He's still hating on him.
That is LeBron-esque commitment to basketball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
that's why I think it's funny.
Forget everything I saw. It don't matter to me. Forget the
Everything.
stats, forget the wins, forget all that. Means nothing.
Oh, this was a funny show. Shout out to Steve in the background. White chocolate, come in here for a hot second. Give me 60 seconds.
Hey, out of all the garbage you guys mentioned, nobody mentioned the Jets. Jets, Jets, garbage. One of the worst franchises since 1969. They've done nothing.
We can
There's
just throw the
one.
whole city
And
of
number
New
two,
York in there if you
Kev,
ask
your
me.
man card's revoked. Pete Rose,
Let's
what
throw
are you
the whole
smoking,
city
guy?
of New York in there if you ask me.
Listen,
I respect that.
that's
hate. I
horrible.
respect that.
You know
Yeah.
what? How many sports teams does New York have?
too
they
many.
have a double. They
A
have
lot.
a double for every major thing. They have two teams in every
And
major.
Boston is like right there with them, and we don't even have as many.
And
We don't even
have
have half as many teams.
We have one. We have one in every major thing. They have two. They got
Listen,
two in
you guys,
baseball,
somebody
in
picked the
basketball.
Lakers. The Jets are worse. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I never seen a season
They're
where
not
they
overrated,
talk about the Jets though. Nobody cares about the Jets.
Nobody cares.
Only in
Okay.
New England because they're in our division do they talk about it. But national media, they don't care about the Jets. But First Take will talk about the Lakers, even if they're 5-45. They'll
And the
talk about
Cowboys.
Lakers.
And the Cowboys. And the Cowboys.
And the
Oh, yeah,
Cowboys,
and the
I agree
Cowboys.
with the Cowboys. That's a good
Yeah.
pick. All right.
You,
Oh,
you
God.
can
All right,
turn.
everybody. Hey, Frank, let me, I'll stop now. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. Guys, nice to see you. Catch box seats again tomorrow. And I will see you guys later.
I love the topics, Frank.
Thank you. We're gonna definitely we're gonna come back tomorrow and get this rolling and everything else. And so tomorrow's show, this is the show's called Box Seats. For tomorrow's show, what we're gonna do tomorrow, we're gonna flip this. If you're sitting at home and you're watching this, we're gonna flip this. Today we did overrated franchise in sport all time. We did overrated athletes. So tomorrow we're gonna do most underrated athlete all time. And we're gonna do most underrated franchise all time because
Most
there's-
underrated franchise, Montreal Canadiens, because somebody said that nobody's close to the Yankees with championships. They have 24 Stanley
Steve.
Cups.
Steve, tomorrow.
That's going on my list.
Tomorrow. Thank you all for watching. We're gonna do this tomorrow. So thank you all for watching. The show's called Box Seats. See you tomorrow. Thanks.
Peace.